too. It's episode 665 of Find Music, and it's time for a little promotion. Bruce, you're promoted. You're promoting.
Thank you. So first, um, when you put music out by yourself, technical difficulties make it. So I claimed that this album was coming out. I did that. It was coming out like 2 weeks ago, but
Mhm.
YouTube took a long time to get it out. So Minnesota Songs is now out officially. It's on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music and Amazon Music and a whole bunch of other musics I've never heard of. So I've already played that for you. So that's just an announcement. I have another announcement. I do want to. There is so there were two albums I just drove across the country, well, halfway across the country from Minnesota back to LA, and there were two albums that were on my playlist most of the time. So I'm just going to give a shout out to Lee Hazelwood for Cowboy in Sweden. Great, great album. You may
Oh,
listen
yeah.
to it and think it's a little sarcastic, but it's Lee Hazelwood, and that's the way he sings. But it's a fantastic album. I highly recommend it. And
Nice.
then there was this other album I listened to, and back in my early days, I was kind of into prog. So I was way into King Crimson. I saw them live. But this new band called Beat formed that is just, it's instead of Robert Fripp, you have Steve Vai, and they play King Crimson songs, and they're out. And while now, as an older person, I think King Crimson's songs kind of are weak. When they play music, it's like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? So I do recommend listening to that beat as long as you get over Adrian Below's Wales. Once you get through that and they start playing, it's like, I can't believe I'm hearing this. I don't even know what they're doing. Then I also want to give a shout out to the residents because I already did a show on them, but and this is I just want to mention the residents are coming to Los Angeles. They are coming. I just like that dog. Okay, because I have a dog. They are coming, and I think January 16th, and I've got my tickets. So I promise you, if you go to the residence, it will be an experience. I love the music. I had a friend who went to the residence concert in Glendale like a few years ago that me and my children went to, and we loved it. But she said she couldn't take it, and then she asked me what an MRI was like, and I said an MRI is like going to a residence concert wearing a tube.
Uh,
That's
I'm a
good one.
big Lee Hazelwood fan. I've
Oh, he's so good.
I've got a couple of his albums, and that last one he recorded, and
Oh, he is great. And
he's got that
my
great song about growing old. I can't remember the name of it, but it's really good.
yeah. My wife has trouble with him because she sometimes thinks, is this sarcastic or is this guy real? Especially on the Lee and Nancy album with
Oh
Nancy
yeah,
Sinatra.
I've got those albums also, Lee, and all three.
Oh, yeah, they're
They're
good.
really good.
But my favorite is Cowboy in Sweden. It's just
Ah,
fantastic. Yeah. Um, so anyway, listen to Lee Hazelwood. You may not like him. He's an acquired taste, but if you do, you're going to love him. So, and the residents, once again, that's another acquired taste. But once you start liking them, the experience of their concert is something to, even if you have to bring a vomit bag, just go. But today I'm going to promote a 2001 album. This album is called Space Face. It's by this artist that I follow called Papa Twister. The history of this album is that in 1980, probably around 1985 and 86, I was at college and I was into electronic music composition. And we had an electronic music lab. And I was actually kind of the electronic music teacher's pet. So I had the keys to the lab. So I would go there and make these really weird stuff. I'd spend all night in there. I might have taken LSD a few times while locked in there and come out with some really weird stuff. And so I had all these tapes on reel to reel, and I carried them with me, although I don't have a reel to reel tape deck. And probably around 1999, I met a guy who had a reel to reel. So he digitized all my electronic music stuff. Then it was in 2000. My wife was going away for 2 weeks and she left me in our apartment. And I borrowed a DX7 and I composed all this music that was going to be to a rock opera. And I had my big amp out. It was my neighbors hated me that for those 2 weeks, but that's what you get for living next to me. And then the following year, I wrote lyrics and recorded what Space Face, the rock opera. So the first song, and I'll just start playing them song by song because I'm going to really put 12 tracks. This is my home base, which is SoundCloud, but this is available on all streaming services under Papa Twister. SoundCloud, you could see some of the original artwork because on YouTube they just put the album cover, which is my face, and it's on Mars. And if you guys remember this, they said there was a face on Mars. Well, I found another one. Anyways, this one does not have electronic music. This was the intro song, but it does have saxophones. And at the time, I was actually imitating the riff from
Unsatisfied?
Life
Not turning out to be what you expected it to be? Well, we've got good news for you.
There's water on Mars.
And where there's water, there'll be fish.
Say goodbye to Ma and Pa.
Goodbye, Mom, Pa.
Say goodbye to sweet Grandma.
Bye-bye, sweet Grandma.
Say goodbye to Brother Joe.
Bye-bye, Brother
Say
Joe.
goodbye to all the people who you know.
So that's your introduction. You could listen to, there's a big sax, I don't know what you call a reverie maybe after that. And then we had Going to Mars. I forgot what that was. This album was actually the last album that I recorded before becoming a parent because my wife was pregnant during this. So the next one, oh yeah, this is still not, the electronic music hasn't come in. This is still ukulele. I think
Swallow your butts, we're going to Mars. Opportunity awaits from afar. There'll be lots of folks like you, lots lonely and confused, finding new things to do. I'm happy on the news. Get off the couch.
okay, so I'm going to move on. I think at the time my concept was to start with more acoustic instruments and slowly build it toward the electronic music. So on Space Stewardess, my electronic music from the 80s comes. Oh, and I forgot to mention one thing. Because it's one of the biggest regrets of my life. Because I had become the electronic music teacher's pet, when John Cage came to town and did a concert, I got to do a one-on-one interview with him. But I was such a smart-ass teenager without a fully developed frontal lobe. I was sarcastic to him. I didn't appreciate who I was in front of. And I started saying things like, well, if everything's music, why should I ever bother with you? And he answered that. He had the best answer I've ever heard for a smart-ass 18-year-old in his face. Well, he's probably 19. He said, I had a cat that fell out of my window from 4 stories up and lived. John Cage, you're brilliant. You couldn't have said anything to me that could have confused me more than that, and it was great. So I love you, John Cage. Sorry, I didn't appreciate you when I met you. Okay, so this is where my electronic music starts, I believe. Still ukulele.
She walks down the aisle with style and grace. freeze-dried coffee and turkey paste, with a twinkle in her eye and a sparkle on her face. She smiles and makes you feel so very safe. The rockets ignite, she speaks
That's the
into
beginning.
the intercom. Fasten your harnesses by inserting the prong. All systems are go. Put your visors down. The brightness will be blinding as we launch toward the sun.
Prepare for launch.
In case of an emergency, we'll be blowing
And because we don't have time, I'm going to skip. So as it goes on, we're going to just get to that. So here it is. It disintegrates completely into electronic music. So the next one, I believe this is a musical interlude. This one I was into capturing sound and just using sound as music. So I just added a rhythm to it. So that's very much like that, but that's the trip to Mars, because this is someone who was looking for a better place to fish. Like me, I'm into fishing. And then they arrive at Mars, and this is sung by a friend. This one, it's still my SG, but it's sung by a friend. And this one will completely disintegrate into electronic music because what's happening here is a paraplegic person who decided to make the space in the introduction. He lives in space and he enjoys movement. So he's there, upsets me again. And then, oops, I like big intros. Where is he?
Boy, harmony.
Welcome
Yeah, I was into
aboard
harmonies.
the Martian frontier, orbiting.
And when I told him how I wanted him to sing, he was like, "What?" I go, "Yeah, pretend like you're in a choir, but you're an opera singer." Anyways, this one completely
Space station.
this
Starting supplies have been prepared for you to start your Martian farm.
oh,
At first, things are going to be kind of rough. You're gonna need lots of luck, so buckle up tightly. Well inflamed.
been taking my
Phone me
instructions.
off and tell me about your fate. Bye-bye.
So then it disintegrates into this, and this, I believe Charlie will like this. This is actually my final project in electronic music. And this is where I locked myself in the room for all night and something might have got on my tongue. I don't know what it was. And then I created this. I got an A- because it was too long.
It's very different from the other ones you showed.
Yeah, this was my, our grand finale of electronic. The other ones were like, make something that sounds like this. And, we used to have, we didn't have like computers, we had phone jacks, and we would connect the different analog synthesizers through phone jacks to get these sounds. Oh, I'm also playing harmonica. Okay. So that you can listen to on your own when you get around to it. Once again, it's Martian Landing. Then I had this really close friend who sang on it too, who is now deceased, who I dearly love. But I decided to write a song that was impossible to sing, and he sung it. And here it is.
Follow these instructions.
I mean, I cut some parts to make it so he
close
sounds like
attention.
it's
I'm
impossible.
only gonna tell you this once. Wait till we
Here.
call your number. Then step up to the counter. Collect all your provisions. The items are on the list. Veneer skin spray over your body, respirator, boots and gloves, catheter and poop tube, properly applied, will give you the freedom to roam beyond your pod. All the things you need are in your survival kit.
Okay, so in the name of time, I will move on to the next one. This is the duet between me and Mike. So,
MAO inhibitors
this one, Martian.
guaranteed to keep you fit. Follow.
Oops.
When you wake up in the morning to discover you are dead, but you're only dead in spirit, 'cause your flesh gets out of bed. It wanders round and round till you remember your head is the red ball of flesh at the end of your neck.
Milk of humankind.
There's Mike. And then I come back at that. Or after a guitar solo. The only guitar solo on this whole album. So, even though I'm a guitar hero.
So you slip into your veneer skin, add a tank of air, and
Then, oops. Next song is another electronic music piece. Martian Living. I'll let you enjoy that on your own. I think it just keeps going. Wait.
when you wake up in the morning,
wrong one.
to
Why is it not doing that? I'm losing control of this. How do I control this?
Hit the back
Okay,
button,
so
it
this
might
is-
be okay.
The back. Oh, I've gone to...
There you go.
Oh, here it is. Okay. So, resurrection, he dies, he wanders into the cave, and then he meets... Oops, I did it again. I don't want to do that. And then he meets an electronic love beast. And this is a duet between me and my wife. And she was pregnant. Heavy DX7 on this one.
Now I can be your electronic love beast.
I love the DX7. Okay, enjoy that.
can
Two more,
feel
and then I'm
your
done.
love.
Electronic Love is another instrumental, I believe. Yeah, so this is where he comes back to life thousands of years later. And
You got a good old
When you
V12
wake
track.
up in the morning
Okay,
to
that's-
discover you are
last one, Resurrection. Nope, it's the wrong one. Last
yeah.
one is not.
Go back,
Okay.
and you got to click on. Yeah, there you go. Get the last.
Oh,
one.
Emergence. There, that's the one I want. Last one. And then he comes out. It's still. This is he emerges. And there are backwards subliminal messages, so I couldn't help but do that.
released from the
Beast. With Rob Batchko on saxophones.
1,000 years in a cave.
And then
You haven't aged one day.
goes into something Fred will like. A Pharaoh Saunders inspired saxophone solo. There it is. It's a soprano. And Bill keeps going. It's a long saxophone solo. Pharaoh played long solos. And then then it goes back to the acoustic instruments. And my guitar's a little out of tune, but I adjust.
Fish swimming up rushing streams, flowing through lush valleys to a vast blue sea. Could this really be Mars?
I'll just skip to the very ending now.
Long
Space Face by an unknown artist. What? What's going on? Oh no!
Wappa Twister, thanks
Ah!
you. I will save you. I will save you.